What's up, everyone? I'm finally back with yet another vlog. Yes and no, it's been a really long time, and I sincerely apologize about that. And right now, I know many of you are probably thinking, well, Dan, you had a really long break to make plenty of more vlogs, but why didn't you? Well, let's just say I did quite a few fun things over this month-long break. So, let's get to them. I'm going to first do that, and then after that, I'm going to talk about some stuff a few things that I did yesterday when I got back, since I got back up here to St. Thomas. Because yes, if you couldn't tell already, I am back here in my faithful Flint apartment here at the University of St. Thomas. But before I get to talking about stuff I did yesterday when I got back up here, let's first talk about my exciting break. So, the first exciting thing that happened over this nice long break for me was something that happened the day after Christmas. So, the day after Christmas, aka December 26th, excuse me, my family and I, my family and I, along with my dad's side of the family, went out to Jamaica to spend a week vacation out there. So I did say that was pretty awesome. And let's just say I am very fortunate to have a nice family or that I've grown up with these 21 years now. Because yes, I'm now 21. More on that a little bit later. So I don't take any of this for granted, because I know these trips take a lot of careful planning, and they can be very expensive too, especially anywhere you go overseas. So again, I'm very appreciative of my family, and as well as my dad's parents, who also helped pay for and plan some of this vacation. So let's just say it was a very fun trip, and it was a great one, especially for me also, because it was the first time I could actually have beer on my own, or say beer and other alcoholic beverages on my own, because as many of you know, the legal drinking age in almost any other part of the world, Jamaica included, is 18. So I was able to do whatever I wanted to in terms of alcoholic drinks there, because I was of legal age. So, yep. And now I'm officially of legal age here. If I just haven't mentioned that now. And more on that in a little while as I go through my synopsis of my break. So, did plenty of fun things in Jamaica. So, it was just nice lounging around on the beach, by the ocean, getting a nice tan, and reading my books on my iPad and stuff. So overall, it was a pretty darn good time, and it was a very nice escape from our cold winter we've been having up here in the upper Midwest. Because let's just say this has been the coldest winter as of recently that I've actually remembered. Because I swear, I think we've had maybe 2 polar vortexes this whole winter, and it's been cold. It's been so freaking cold. I don't mind the snow and everything in winter. That's why I love being up here in the upper Midwest, in Wisconsin and now Minnesota. But I freaking hate sub-zero temperatures. So there's my little side rant about that stuff. So let's move right along with other things that I did this break. Oh, also forgot to mention, this trip to Jamaica that my dad's family took was a week. So that means we spent New Year's in Jamaica. So that was pretty awesome. I think this has been the second or third time I've been out of the country for New Year's. So that's pretty cool. Alright, moving right along with other things that I've done this break. After I got back from that trip, no, I didn't pick my nose there. I was just scratching it. Don't worry. So after we got back for that trip, most of my other time has just been spent with relaxing and stuff. Oh, also to mention 2 trips up north, or to my cabin up in northern Wisconsin, if I haven't said where it's been before. So I believe, yeah, it was the same week we got back, which we got back on January 2nd. So hold on, let me just look at my calendar here. Wait, actually, is that right? Yeah, we went up on, or it was just me. It was me, my mom. Or actually, it was our entire family. Or just our family that went to our cabin up in northern Wisconsin. Spent that weekend there. We just did fun things like snowmobiling, skiing one of the days, and all that stuff. And the skiing, it was all right, I guess. In case you're wondering, we went to Big Powderhorn Mountain in the UP of Michigan, because that's just an hour away from our place, so good stuff. Oh, that was kind of weird. There we go. But the reason why I said it was kind of meh was because that was a pretty cold weekend up there, so because of that, there were very few people that were actually skiing at that place, because like, it wasn't the temperature that was really an issue. Well, it sort of was. But when you got to the top of the hills, the wind was just howling. It was just crazy how windy it was. So, like, literally, almost all the time, you had the hardest time getting off of chairlifts. So, that's the only part that kind of sucked about this ski trip. And because of that, we started our day a little bit later there, so we only skied for a few, I think it was, maybe 3 or 4 hours, so that's a lot shorter than we usually do it, but all in all, it was still a lot of fun, because for me, that was my second, or should I say my officially first extended time on my new pair of skis, which I will be picking up here tomorrow, since my parents sent them out the day before, or actually, yeah, a few days before I got back up here. So, yeah, I'll be seeing those tomorrow. And speaking of other ski stuff, I'll get to more of that later, because actually I have an exciting trip to tell about to you guys. So, yeah. Alright, so what about some other exciting stuff that happened this break? Oh, as I was saying before, just briefly, I'm now officially 21. As many of you probably know, my birthday was last month, January 12th to be exact, and let's just say that was probably one of my best birthdays yet, because 21 is just such a huge birthday, because when you turn that age, you are fully legal here in the United States, because now that means I can drink alcoholic beverages, which is super awesome. Well, I could before, but now I can officially purchase them legally, so that's awesome. And that night was pretty fun for me too, because I did some bar hopping with my family, and then one of my aunts and uncles, and one or two of those cousins was supposed to come. One or two of my cousins, from my mom's side, who that aunt and uncle are from, were supposed to come to do this bar hopping, but unfortunately, something happened and it didn't allow them to come. So, oh well, it was still a fun night anyways. So, let's see. I think it was just a little night of bar hopping, but still fun nevertheless. We just did some bar hopping at some little bars that were nearby my house back at home. So, at one place I started off with just having I started off with having a beer, and then these people invited me over to the bar, and I I got some shots and stuff on them, so that was very cool of them. I think they're regulars too, so and they knew because of all the stuff on me I was officially 21, so they gladly gave me all those shots and stuff on them, and again, I'm very appreciative of that. And then also when we were at that place, we just had a few little appetizers too, and then also, let's see what else. Oh, also then I got my other presents from my aunt and uncle, and specifically what I got from them was the movie Fast and Furious 6 on DVD. I actually just watched that on the way back up here yesterday, and let's just say it was pretty awesome. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen the ones before that. I know for sure I've seen, I think the first one, The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and I might have seen the third one. And I'm not so sure about the fourth one or fifth one, but hey, those kind of movies you don't necessarily have to watch the other ones to really understand the plot in all of them too much, but yeah, it's just whatever. And then after that, I believe it was just last week, I went up north yet again, but this time it wasn't just some of my family, some of my family from dad's side also came up, and they all brought up all their younger cousins too. So, of course, I was busy having fun with all of them too. So, yeah. And this time around up north, it wasn't, or we didn't do as many outdoor things as last time because that weekend it was just freaking cold again. So, we just did the occasional snowmobiling, cross-country skiing. Some people then did snowshoeing. Then we also did some sledding out on this one hill that goes out onto our lake at our cabin up north in northern Wisconsin, as I've said before. So, yeah, that was a pretty fun weekend, and that was the last time I was up there until obviously I came back up here, and then I won't be back up there again because because I won't be going back there until summer, because obviously I have school up here, and then I have some exciting stuff I'll be doing over spring break, and then also this coming summer. More details on that to come soon, a little bit later in this vlog. So, yeah. And then some other exciting stuff I did over break was some of the usual stuff for me. Keeping up with my Minnesota Wild. Oh wait, before going back to that, I forgot to mention other stuff I got for my birthday before. I'm so stupid. Not really. But some other stuff I got for my birthday was some boxes of candy, this 9-pack of beers that has beers from some countries all over the world from World Market. So it includes some beers from such countries as Japan, Italy, I believe, Mexico, amongst many others. So, yep. Then some other stuff I got. Well, I got a bunch of other things, but I don't exactly remember them, but that's besides the point. So now, without further ado, let's move back to what I was talking about before. So, as I said before, I did a bunch of other little things during my break this past month or so, and amongst that included keeping up with my Minnesota Wild, because I was able to watch them on TV, because I was able to see their games occasionally on Fox Sports Wisconsin, my regional sports network back at home, and in addition to one game on the NBC Sports Network. So that was awesome. So let's just say I'm very happy I was able to keep up with the Wild. So, yep. Then also I went to a few movies at our movie theater nearby, so all was good. So overall, it was a very nice long break. So, yeah. I still have a little bit left of it because I start up again tomorrow, but my break is basically over now. So now, without further ado, how about I get into some very few things that I did yesterday when I got back up here. So, as many of you know, actually, you won't know this because I haven't told you about it yet, but yesterday, I made my way back up here because my parents thought it'd be better if I came back up here a day earlier, so I have a little bit more time to settle in before my classes start again for the spring semester on Monday. And you know what? I was cool with that because then it'd give me some time to just unpack some of my stuff and just max and relax and stuff. And then of course I have some other fun stuff that I can do later tonight, like the Super Bowl and everything. But that'll be coming up. I'll be talking about that in a little while. So, how I got back up here last night was through the megabus, which if you don't know what it is, the megabus is I think a national chain. It runs buses that go to such cities that go from such cities as Milwaukee, Minneapolis, St. Paul, a bunch of other Midwestern cities. I think some even out east too. So, yeah. So I took the megabus to get back up here, or to get from back home to up here, from the state capital of Wisconsin, which is, as many of you know, is Madison. So I took it from there, and from there I think it's about like a 5-hour or so bus ride back up. So yes, that is a bit long, but I got used to long rides in vehicles ever since we've had our cabin up north. So that's not too bad for me. So in terms of the ride back up, it was pretty much uneventful. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff to do to keep me preoccupied throughout the whole time. I was basically on this here MacBook the whole time because as I said earlier in the vlog, I watched The Fast and the Furious 6 on DVD here on the MacBook Pro, and I really enjoyed it. And that was a little over a 2-hour movie, so that took up pretty much a good chunk of the trip. So there's that. And then for the most of the other time, I listened to my music on iTunes here on my MacBook Pro, and then also on my iPhone, which, here it is. Yeah. As you can see, still had that in the back. Kind of random thoughts, but whatever. So again, that trip was pretty much uneventful. Well, except up until the end of the trip. So, apparently, just before our trip started, when I logged into the Wi-Fi here on my MacBook Pro, because all the megabuses, have Wi-Fi built into them, and I saw a service advisory about a stop change for where my megabus was heading to, back up here to St. Paul. So apparently, on the spot where they had it before, which was a shopping center that was fairly close by to where I go to school here, they lost their lease of that lot, so they had to change their stop to somewhere else. I believe they changed it to somewhere in St. Paul. I believe it's the Union Depot station. I believe if some of you live up here in the cities, you probably know where that is. But I figured out, the bus driver just told this to us as they were trying to get to the exit. He told us that we weren't able to stop there because there was that road was blocked off. I heard it's because of some parade going on that night, and I thought that was crazy. So they said, because of that, we're going to skip right over our St. Paul stop and go right to Minneapolis. And I just heard some people complain, being like, come on, you promised that you promised that you'd have a St. Paul stop now. And then some people saying, some people like me were saying, well, can't we stop at the older stop? And then the bus driver was like, okay, we can at least stop stop close to where we used to stop in St. Paul, because as I just said before, our lease with that lot is up, so we're not authorized to park in that lot. We can only drop you off by that lot. So at least that was close to the stop where I was supposed to get off before a stop change they had. So it wasn't all too bad, except for some tough experience I had whilst getting a taxi. Now, the way I like to get taxis is by using an app here on my iPhone called Taxi Magic. So all I had to do was open it up, tell it I was ready to be picked up right now, and then tell it my pickup location, and then choose one of the local taxi fleets, and then it'll give me an estimate based on where I'm going. So I did that. It gave me my estimate and all, and I had to call the fleet. That was all good and all, but let's just say that did not work for me because it said there's a taxi 3.3 miles away from where I was standing. But the thing that sucked is it kept saying it was 0.3 miles away for like a few minutes. So like the thing never changed. So I was like, okay, is this taxi even moving? So I had a feeling that it wasn't because it was probably busy with some other passengers. So I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And whilst in all this time, I didn't have my gloves on so I could use my iPhone and stuff. So in the meantime, I'm just standing out here in the freezing cold waiting for his taxi that basically never came. And I was like, oh, come on, what? Seriously, like, what the hell is going on here? So after a while, I just gave up on that. I clicked cancel ride, and then what I just did from there was search for taxis on Google, and then I had a little more success from there. Well, not exactly at first. The first number I tried calling to get a taxi was busy, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? Well, I think it was Saturday night, and there was some other stuff going on, so that was kind of understandable. Then the second number I called, I was actually able to get through to someone. Thank freaking God. And then from there, after a little bit of waiting, I finally got a taxi, got back here, and I was a happy man because I finally got out of the cold. Yeah, buddy. And then, basically, right after I got back here and dropped the stuff off, I then went out to the Southdale Center to pick up something that I reserved at a store there, specifically the Hockey Lodge. And yes, this shirt that you see on me right here is the item that I picked up. This is something I actually originally reserved at one of their different locations, specifically the one at the XL Energy Center, because I called that store and their other location they have a few times, like maybe like this past week as well as weeks before, to see if they had this particular item in stock in the sizes I wanted. And like at first I thought it would just be better if I have it held at the store that has the most stock. So yeah, but when like just a few days ago when I asked them again if this store had this particular item in stock in the size I wanted, they said yeah. Just yesterday. So I decided, well, hopefully if I get back in time, I could go tonight or that night, I should say, out there and get this. So let's just say I really got lucky and made it there just in time, because that store was closing at 9, and I believe I got there, or actually after I got to the mall, I got to the store I think 5 minutes before they were going to close their doors for the night. So I was very lucky. So it was a very quick process to get this shirt too. So yeah, and because they knew I was picking this up, well, actually, how I did that was I just walked in the store. The cashier actually greeted me and said, "Hello, I'm here to pick up this one shirt that I asked about reserving through your Facebook page yesterday." And you're like, "Okay, what's your what's your first name? And I said, Dan. And they're like, okay, we'll get it out for you right now. So when they went through one of the drawers, they had the stuff held in, and then they got it out for me. So, yeah, let's just say I'm very happy with the service of those stores. They really know how to cater to us Minnesota Wild fans. So, as you can see here, the shirt that I got last night is a pretty awesome shirt. It's more of a general NHL related shirt than it is just strictly Minnesota Wild. So this is something I actually wanted for my birthday but didn't end up getting, so I decided, well, why not get it for myself? I thought I'd start getting some new t-shirts anyway because there are a lot of them I'm outgrowing back at home, so this would be another bit of my start to that. So as you can see here, this is a nice gray t-shirt, and as you can see on the front here, we have the NHL logo up here. Then below that it says a history of the league, the National Hockey League, as well as the Reebok logo. And excuse me while I try to do this. I don't know. I don't think that's... No, that's not going to work well. That's not going to work well at all. So what I'm going to say is on the back of this t-shirt, there's the logos of all 30 of the current teams in the National Hockey League, and that along with that, they have their dates of their first season that they played in the NHL. And I think that's just so cool because as many of you know, I've become quite the hockey fan now, especially with having the Minnesota Wild up here. So I thought this would just be a cool thing to have and just know the history behind all the teams that have started up today. So let's just say I am pretty happy with this shirt. And then let's see. Right after I picked up this shirt from that Hockey Lodge store there, I then went over to their little food court to get myself a little late night dinner. So what I initially ended up wanting to get DQ from there because I've been to that mall before the time I went there last night, so I know they had that there. But then I know they had a few other things there in their miniature food court. So when I found out DQ was closed, unfortunately for the night, I then went over to this one place called Smashburger. Now, as many of you, if you guys know or don't know, Smashburger, I think it's just a chain that I don't know if it exists outside of Minnesota, but if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me on that, or I'll look it up for myself. So I got myself a burger, fries, and a drink from Smashburger. Let's just say, in the words of David DeFranco, it was pretty banging. So, yeah. And I had that whilst watching the last little bit of the Wild game that was on later last night because they were out west where they're still in the Pacific time zone when they were playing the Calgary Flames. And unfortunately, they lost the game last night. It was in overtime though, but because of that, they still got a point for that, so it wasn't a total loss. But yeah, that was basically my night last night. And then today, I've done quite a few things already. Earlier today, I got myself out to Target to get some stuff to restock myself, and I guess I'll show you my mini haul here in this video right now of the things I got from Target. Alright, I'm now back with all my things that I got from Target earlier today, and I don't have enough room to hold them up here all at once right now because I'm in a little bit of a smaller space right here. So I'll show you them all individually. So one of the few things I got from Target today was this loaf of wheat bread, and this would be good to have obviously for PB&J sandwiches and stuff like that. I also got an obligatory bag of Lay's chips, specifically kettle cooked chips that have 40% less fat because I'm trying to be a little more healthier with my food. Also got a half-gallon jug of 1% or of 1% milk. As you can see, is the Target Market Pantry brand, just like the bread I just showed. Then I also got this Tropicana Trop 50 orange juice, and why it's called Trop 50 is because it has 50% less sugar and calories than regular orange juice. And again, another thing to to stay in the healthier side of things. And last but not least, in terms of food items, God, I can't fit this in frame really. Oh, there we go, that works better. Is this DiGiorno pizza. And what's so awesome about this pizza here is that I got it for completely free because I had this one coupon that I won from the Packers-Vikings game in Green Bay when my tweet got showed on the video board there. So awesome stuff. So that's it for the food stuff. And I also got two other little things here from Target, or two other little things here as well. And not too exciting, but I got myself some new Fruit of the Loom boxer briefs because I thought I would just replace some of my older ones that were starting to wear out a little bit. And not that you guys really need to know this too much, but when it comes to boxer briefs, Fruit of the Loom is my preferred brand, simply because personally I think it's the best value for your money because they're not too expensive and they're still pretty comfy as well. So there's that. And then last but not least, I also got myself some new body wash because I'm about to run out of my other stuff in there. As you can see, it is Old Spice Hawk Ridge. And the reason why I went with this particular scent is because because I also have this same Hawk Ridge scent in their deodorant and also body spray. So I thought I'd get this just to stay consistent with my scents for my body. I did see that they have their new scents there, called Lion Pride and Bear Glove, but I thought I wouldn't get that yet until I run out of my other stuff, just for the sake of consistency in terms of scents. Because right now, the stuff I have in my bathroom for body wash is one of the Fresh Collection scents from Old Spice, specifically Fiji. Don't get me wrong, that stuff smells good, but I really am liking those smells of their Wild Collection, specifically Hawk Ridge. So I think once I officially run out of all my Hawk Ridge stuff, I may try out one of their other scents, or one of their scents they've had out for a while, like Fox Crest or Wolf Thorn or whatever, or one of their new ones, which are, as I said before, Lion Pride or Bear Glove. Alright, even though I just showed you all my stuff from my mini Target haul, I guess I could show it again before I close out this video. These chips, this bread, this milk, this orange juice, this pizza, and last but not least, these Fruit of the Loom boxer briefs and Old Spice Hawk Ridge body wash. So that is that for my Target haul. So now, in terms of other things I have going on today, later tonight, of course, I will be watching the Super Bowl, of course, because as many of you guys know, I am into sports, so yeah. Unfortunately, looks like I'm going to have to find some other people to watch it with, or have some people come here with me to watch it, because if you didn't notice already, because of how eerily quiet it is, I am the only one here right now, because my other roommates aren't coming back till later. My other roommates, two of them, or the two of them which are brothers, are on or went on a trip to Hawaii just recently, and I believe the reason why they'll be so back so late tonight is because maybe they'll just be getting back from Hawaii later. Not too sure, but whatever. And in turns, my other roommate, who lives in the room next to me, he'll probably be getting back around the same time as them also, simply because he's coming from back home from Texas. So, yeah. Alright, so that is about it for... Oh, actually, in terms of who I'm going to be cheering for in the Super Bowl tonight, I'm going to be cheering for the Broncos, simply because Peyton Manning had an amazing season this year, and one of two players that played for the Wisconsin Badgers, because there's also someone who played for Wisconsin Badgers on the other team that's playing tonight, the Seahawks, is on the team. So that's my reasoning behind cheering for the Broncos. So tonight I say, go Broncos. I also know a friend. I've also gotten to know someone up here who's from Colorado and of course is a Broncos fan. So I'll be cheering him on for him too. All right, so now for real, that will be it for this vlog. So now what I want to know from you guys is, what was your favorite thing during your winter break for college, or from college? I know many of you are probably back at school already because you don't have the luxury of this winter term or J term like me. So I know many of you are back in school already. So if you are, hope your class has been going well so far. And my question for this video is, what was your most favorite thing over your winter break? I would have to say mine were, of course, Jamaica, and then also my 21st birthday. So awesome stuff. Alright, so now I think I'm going to leave you guys with that. So all that's left to say now is peace.